Mom has a special place in Scripture. We can see that in 1 Thessalonians 2:7. Just a few examples of how mom is seen by the writers of the Word. 1 Thessalonians 2:7 says, "But we proved," Paul speaking to a group of people that he's writing to, the Thessalonians, he's saying, "We proved to be gentle among you, as a nursing mother tenderly cares for her own children." Paul assumes a certain personality type for a mom when she handles her newborn kid. It has to be something that's gentle, loving, caring. So then mom is gentle. She cares with love. Mom is also a teacher. It says in Proverbs 1:8. Proverbs 1:8 shows us, "Hear, my son, your father's instruction, and do not forsake your mother's teaching." Also showing that mom is a teacher. So she cares with love, with tenderness, and she also teaches. She gives instruction. Proverbs 31:1, it says, "The words of King Lemuel, the oracle which his mother taught him," an oracle being almost like a prophecy, a sermon, a teaching of wisdom. King Lemuel was probably a very wise man since he contributed to the book of Proverbs. And indeed, the next two passages in the book of Proverbs, especially Proverbs 31, the second half, is about the woman, the true ideal woman of the Bible. Who taught him about that? His mom. "This is what my mom taught me," says King Lemuel, and he writes it down. 2 Timothy 1:5. Paul mentions a few other great teachers. "For I am mindful of the sincere faith within you," speaking to Timothy, "which first dwelt in your grandmother Lois and your mother Eunice, and I am sure that it is in you as well." Grandma passed down a teaching, and then mom passed it down to her son. And then the women bring down these teachings to their children and preserve the generation after generation. The teachings that might seem basic, might seem kind of, well, that's common sense, but they're not. They're more than that. It is a preserving of treasures, a passing down of gold, of jewels that are not physical, but are more precious than even that. So then she teaches, she loves tenderly, and she also administers discipline. In Proverbs chapter 21, verse 15. Proverbs 29, verse 15. "The rod and reproof give wisdom, but a child who gets his own way brings shame to his mother." So then mom, she gives the reproof. She gives the rod. She brings out the switch. And a mom who hasn't done that, well, her kids are ashamed to her. So then it is the mom who disciplines. It is the mom who teaches. It is the mom who gives tender care. But I must give this caveat, that doesn't mean the father does not do that as well. But of course, today's Mother's Day. These are things that are very familiar because they resound with something that is bigger than mom, bigger than the individuals that administer these things. When we unite with something bigger than ourselves, that big thing makes us bigger. It lifts us up. So then when we go to a sports game and we root for a certain team, you know, we go for the Patriots or the Cowboys, or we go for the Clippers or the Lakers or the Dodgers. We go to a stadium filled with tens of thousands of people, and we cheer for our team because we become united with a bigger thing than us. And you can hear the cheer and the roar of the crowd. No few hundred people, no few thousand, but tens of thousands. And we feel the energy, the rush of that. It's a great thing to go to a sports game, to be there in the crowd, to join in the waves, to join in the cheering, to yell out the names of your players. You're part of something huge, something special. But now imagine the empty stadium and it's just you by yourself and you're rooting for a team that isn't really there. You're just there yelling, yes, yes, go get them! And it makes no sense. It's pointless because you've united to nothing. There's nothing bigger than you there. Let me propose this. The reason moms are special is because they're united to something eternal. The reason family is special, it's because it's united to something eternal. We are joining a stadium, more than that, an eternity, a whole lifetime, the history of humanity, in the eternal symbol, or the shadow, the metaphor of something bigger, something greater. The great cloud of moms, the great crowd of moms, the great history of humanity littered with moms is insignificant if they did not represent something greater. I'll tell you what they are. If they are not of eternal qualities, then they are nothing but breeding animals. Mom is nothing more but something to produce more animals. It is insignificant to think of a mom that is just flesh making more flesh. It is insignificant to think of families as just these units that produce a chemical that make us feel good. Or as families as some sort of social ordering mechanism. Why social order? What's the point? If all we are meat robots. It truly is insignificant for us to be in the stadium by ourselves cheering for a team that we made up. When two people get married and their vows are simply, I vow to love you, and for now, they're not uniting to anything. There is no covenant. There is no eternal motive or purpose for what they are doing. It is simply flesh pressing against flesh to make more flesh. Insignificant meat. You might as well be cattle.